What was your biggest shit, no going back now moment? Stepping off that sandbar I could barely reach to swim out to the girl caught in a riptide. Done. Not knowing how a riptide worked, it took what felt like hours, but, spoiler alert, we made it. Too early in the season for lifeguards. I remember calling out to people walking their dogs on the beach, but we were so far out they didn't even look towards us. When I was younger, letting my older cousin talk me into a canoe ride down a flooded river. We'd planned it days in advance, but there was a lot of heavy rain in the area and the normally calm river was near flood level and quite rough. I really didn't want to do it, but I didn't want to let him down either, so I still went. I knew as soon as we saw the river this was a terrible idea. The whole thing was a shit show, and I honestly thought we were going to die. We had no control, and at one point we got stuck nose down in a large rock. Knowing if we tipped out we were drowning, we somehow made it out into the shore where we walked back with the canoe. This one is quite literally a not going back moment. As a Boy Scout at summer camp, we would always take large group hikes on the last day of camp. This particular camp in West Texas was located in the middle of a deep canyon and cut through with a small stream. The day before our hike day it rained a bit, but not too much to make us worry. It was drizzling in the morning when we got up, but we were Boy Scouts, so that obviously didn't stop us. So our long hike had us cross the small stream up the canyon maybe 10 to 15 times. No problem. And everything went great. After a while we get to a medium-sized pond that we all decided to go swimming in. That was fun and we all had a blast. We get out and dressed and we keep going farther up a hill to continue our hike. We get to the top and we hear this wonderfully ominous rushing noise. We look over a ledge and see that the water in the stream was moving a bit faster than we remembered. A friend and I volunteered to go back and see what's happened. A flash flood had ripped through the area we had just left moments before. The water in the pond was at least 7 feet higher than it was 5 minutes before, and it was covered in foam and rapidly overflowing. We decided as a group to test our luck and go back to see if we could get out. But the last stream crossing had turned into a very fast-moving river crossing. Needless to say, we were fucked. We literally couldn't go back, and we had to wait a long time to get help and get to the now almost flooded camp. When I was about to get on the plane to my first semester of med school, my dad, never one for sentiment, said, "Well, you're now actually worth more dead than alive. Don't screw this up. Parachute jump. My life is now no longer in my hands. Oh well, Geronimo! Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark." I hopped a freight train once, and the moment it hits 15 to 20 miles per hour, you're just along for the ride. But the real no going back moment came when the train stopped on a siding outside Winnemucca. After waiting there for like 5 hours, I decided to walk into town and get some ice cream sandwiches. As soon as I got 50 yards from the train, I realized, if it starts rolling now, I'll be too far away to chase it down. I'll just be stuck in this town for a while. Edit. For you kids out there, riding freight trains is *dangerous and illegal and dirty and loud and unreliable. Don't do it. Also, I should point out that Winnemucca is home to some of America's best Basque restaurants, fantastic cowboy heritage sites, and it's the gateway to the Black Rock Desert. It's got something for everyone, not just stranded hobos. What is your "I fucking hate that song" song? We're all in this together. Ben Lee. It was already being used, and already annoying, in the industry superannuation ads on Australian TV even before COVID-19. Any song that plays in a Spotify premium ad. I fucking hate that song, but I still sing it in the car. Or, "I'm going to kill you if you play that one more time." 1 to 877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. Stitches by Shawn Mendes. People always used to blast that song. The birdie song chicken dance every fucking wedding ever. How do you think humans will become extinct? Knowing us, it'll be the hard way. An asteroid composed of dinosaurs will crash into the Earth and they'll eat us all. A highly contagious virus designed to make its host infertile without presenting any other symptoms escapes from a lab and infects everyone. Collision of a Mentos truck and a Coca-Cola truck. Terminal stupidity. As a long-term optimist, my favorite is evolution. As we expand out into space through the eons, eventually we diverge and evolve into new species. And what we consider human is extinct. You can also view AI as a version of evolution and count that as well. But I personally think we can coexist with an AI we create. What song is 10 out of 10 but hardly anyone has heard of it? Can someone make a Spotify playlist of these, please? Edit. Why is every Spotify link getting instantly deleted? Edit 2. Go to you. Ilioke comment history. Homesick by a Norwegian band called Airbag. https youtube.be/spufm1zv4poo. If you like psychedelic rock and have heard the likes of Pink Floyd or Porcupine Tree, this song is pure class. Edit. Wow, this blew up. This is probably my highest rated comment. I am so happy that all this attention is going to one of my favorite contemporary bands. Bjorn Reese, who is the lead guitarist of Airbag, also produces his own solo tracks which are quite marvelous themselves. I would recommend the album Forever Comes to an End, particularly Winter Getaway and The Waves. Edit 2. If you like the music, please consider listening to them on streaming services such as Spotify or Apple Music so that the artists get more in royalties. Klaatu, calling occupants of interplanetary craft. Interesting fact, this album leaked in the 70s and everyone was convinced it was recorded by the Beatles secretly. When it turned out to be a completely different group, it was forgotten. Still a beautiful prog rock sound though. https youtube.be/9erm_5r-vwk. https youtube.be/9erm_5r-vwk. Heavenly Father by Isaiah Rashad. Easily one of the most slept on artists ever. Mew, am I right? No. https youtube.be/code7hein8c. One of the most underrated songs from one of the most underrated bands. Directly from Denmark. Locket by Crumb. What's a random ass thing you remember from your childhood? Someone my mom knew came over for a visit. Her son and I went outside to play. He accidentally rattled a bee's nest. They started swarming. He yelled, "Run for your life." So I did. The last thing I remember was looking back while running away and seeing him punching the bees. I don't know who he was or what happened to him. My mom has no recollection of this. Edit. On second thought, his last words to me might have been, "Save your CLLLFFFF." Quote. I called a bulldozer a duck once. I remember laying in a play tent on my back with my legs crossed in the air, bobbing my foot, surrounded by stuffed animals, looking at a picture book pretending I could read, either in preschool or kindergarten. It's a nice little calming flash of childhood that pops into my head every now and then. I was in kindergarten and I had collected these huge nuts from a tree during recess. A girl across from me had a huge birthmark on her arm and I kept staring at it. She got upset at me and was about to tell the teacher. I said, "No please. Here, have a nut." She smirked, gladly took the nut, and didn't tell on me. I once had a dream where a gorilla walked into my room, grabbed and casually ripped out my hair. It didn't hurt though. Ate it, and then walked out. That's it. Has stuck with me for 20 years. I saw my father being held at gunpoint in his bank in Guadalupe in his first day on the job. What is always a bad idea? venting to a blabbermouth, posting dumb, illegal things on social media that can end your job, having a baby to fix a failing relationship. Like, what's even the mindset on that? Let's bring another person in all this mess. It sure can't worsen things. Clicking back quote confirm order back quote past 12:30 a.m. I have a 100% regret rate at these hours. Telling myself that if I stay up all night, and the following day, I'll get sleep schedule right. Yeah, right. Trying to please everyone. Subscribe, my brothers.